To solve the simultaneous equation, so remember our rules from previously. So we got two variables. So we have variable x and variable y. So we want to get rid of one variable. So remember when we have same sign, we're going to subtract, and different sign, we're going to add. So let's look at question 1. We have 2x minus 9y equals minus 33 and 10x minus 9y equals 15. So remember we have same number of y and in the first equation and the second equation. So we don't need to do any multiplications. So we know they are the same sign, so we got to subtract the two equations. So we have 2x, subtract 10x, this becomes minus 8x. Minus 9y, subtract 9y. So the subtract and the minus becomes plus, so it becomes 0. So minus 8x equals to minus 13, subtract 15. This gives us minus 48. Therefore, we know minus 8x is equals to minus 48. Therefore, x equals, so we're going to divide minus x on both sides of the equation. So we have minus 48 divided by minus 8. So we know that x equals 6. Remember, with a simultaneous equation, we get one value for x and we get one value for y. So we need to substitute into our original equation. So we know that you can pick either of equation 1 or equation 2. So I like to work with small numbers, so I'm going to pick with equation 1. So I have 2x minus 9y equals minus 33. And I know that x equals 6, so substituting 6 into the equation, 2 multiplied by 6 minus 9y equals minus 33. So 12 minus 9y equals minus 33. And we have minus 9y equals, so subtract 12 from both sides of the equation, we get minus 45. And then we divide minus 9 from both sides of the equation, we get 5. So the two values are x equals 6 or y equals 5. Now let's have a look at question 2. So question 2, we have 3x plus 4y equals 29. 3x minus 3y equals minus 6. Remember, when we have same sign, we subtract. So we want to get rid of one variable. So now we look at the x. We have the same number of x in both equations, so we don't need to multiply the equations. So same sign, we subtract. So we have 3x and 3x, so we're going to subtract the equations. So 3x subtract 3x is 0. 4y subtract minus 3y, this becomes 7y. Because 4 minus 3, the minus becomes plus. So 4 plus 3 is 7y equals 29 minus 6. So 29 subtract minus 6 becomes 29 add 6. So this is 35. So 7y equals 35. So y equals, so we're going to divide 7 from both sides. So we know that 35 divided by 7 is 5. So we know y is equals to 5. Remember simultaneous equation, you're going to get a value for x. So x is going to be, again, we can substitute in equation 1 or equation 2. So we're going to pick equation 1. So we have 3x plus 4y equals 29. So we know 3x plus, so we know y is 5. So we do 4 times 5 equals 29. 3x plus 20 equals 29. So we're just going to solve the equation now. So 3x is equals to, subtract 20 on both sides, we get 9. So x equals 3. For the next question, we have 2x minus 4y equals minus 8, and 4x minus 10y equals minus 13. So this is more complicated because we can't get rid of one variable straight away because there is not the same number, we don't have the same number of x in both equations or the same number of y in both equations. So we're going to call the first one equation 1 and the second equation 2. So we got to do some multiplication. So we need to have the same number of x in both equations. So we want to find the lowest common multiple. So let's look at, I think it's easier for this one to get rid of the x variable. So we have 2x and 4x. So the lowest common multiple for 2 and 4 is going to be 4. So simply we're going to multiply the first equation by 2. So we're going to have 2x times 2, we have 4x, minus 4y times 2, we have minus 8y, which is equals to minus 8 times 2 is minus 16. So now we have, so we're going to call this new equation, equation 3. So remember, equation 3 is just what we did to equation 1 and multiply by 2. So now we can get rid of our x variable because we have 4x in equation 2 and 4x in equation 3. So now we have look at again. So remember, same sign we subtract and different sign we add. So we have its same sign, so we subtract. So subtract, so 2 subtract 3. So we have 4x subtract 4x is 0. Minus 10y subtract 8y. So it becomes minus 10y plus 8y. So it's minus 2y equals minus 30 subtract minus 16 becomes minus 30 add 16. So we have minus 14. So we just solve our equation. So we get y equals, so this is minus 2 multiplied by y. So to get rid of the minus, to get rid of that, we divide minus 2 on both sides of the equation. So we get y equals 7. Again, there is one value for x and one value for y. So we got the value for y is 7. So now we need to substitute the y value into the original equation. So you can pick any equation 1, 2, or 3. So I always like to pick the first one. So we have 2x minus 4y equals minus 8. So that's, we know 2x minus, so we substitute 7 into the equation. So 4 times 7 equals minus 8. 2x minus 4 times 7 is 28 equals minus 8. 2x is equals, to get rid of the minus 28, we add 28 on both sides. So minus 8 plus 28 is 20. So we know x equals to 10. Divide by 2 on both sides. Now let's look at question 2. We have 2x minus 10y equals minus 44, and 4x minus 8y equals minus 28. So similarly, we want to get rid of one variable. We could get rid of x or get rid of y. Similarly, in this question, it's easier to get rid of the x variable. So we're going to call the first equation equation 1 and the second equation equation 2. Then we look at the x values are smaller, so we find the lowest common multiple. So the lowest common multiple between 2 and 4 is 4. So we don't need to do anything to the second equation. We need to multiply the top equation by 2. So after that, we do 2x times 2 is 4x. 2 times minus 10 is minus 20y. And minus 44 times 2 is minus 88. And we call this equation 3. So we have the same number of x variables. Remember, same sign, we subtract. So we do equation 2 subtract equation 3. So 4x, take away 4x is nothing. Minus 8y, subtract minus 20y. So it becomes minus 8y add 20y becomes 12y equals minus 28 minus 88 becomes minus 28 plus 88. So same as 88 minus 28 equals 60. So we know 12y equals 60, therefore y equals 5. Because we divide 12 on both sides of equation. Again, we need one value for y and one value for x. So we're just going to pick equation 1 or equation 2. Let's do equation 1. So we have 2x minus 10y equals minus 44. So 2x minus, so we substitute 5 into the equation, so 10 multiplied by 5 equals minus 44. So we know 2x minus 50 equals minus 44. 2x equals, so we add 50 on both sides of the equation equals 6, and x, so divide by 2 on both sides of the equation, so x equals 3.